It's sort of the central paradox of our time, isn't it? On one hand, you have this massive, almost paralyzing fear about AI taking jobs. Beat. And on the other, there's this immense immediate opportunity that AI is creating, that is, for those who adapt quickly. We're actually standing in the middle of the biggest shift in history for workers.
It's absolutely true. A few people saw this wave coming early, and they've already carved out some really powerful new ways to make a living. They're far ahead, yeah, but the window to catch up is still wide open. Most people, most professionals, they just don't get how to use these tools for high-income outcomes. Not yet.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission today is pretty simple. We've taken your sources and we've distilled them into a clear map. We need to find the essential mindset and the specific skills you need to succeed in this new AI-driven world by, say, 2026.
Precisely. And we'll start by looking at the required mindset for survival, actually drawing on history. Then we're going to dive into 5 specific high-income technical skills that can genuinely move the needle for your career. And finally, we'll lay out a practical starting journey so you'll know exactly where to put your focus first.
Okay, so let's unpack this, maybe with a little natural history to, set the stage. The central insight I got from your sources here is about the difference between specialists and generalists.
Yeah, think about the saber-toothed tiger. It was powerful, highly specialized, but it was excellent at only one thing: hunting huge animals. So when the climate changed, its whole skill set became, well, useless. It died out.
And then on the other hand, you have the tiny, resilient cockroach. It's a generalist. It can eat pretty much anything, live anywhere, and it has survived for millions of years. It survived right through that tech meteor.
And that's the key insight for workers today. Jobs that rely on doing just one simple, repetitive thing. Those are the most vulnerable. Survival isn't about being the best at one single skill anymore. It's about having the generalist's ability to change and to learn quickly. The modern generalist synthesizes info from all these different AI sources.
That idea of adaptation, it connects directly to these enduring human needs. I mean, if you look back 2,000 years to ancient Rome, lawyers, doctors, builders, they had high salaries then, and they still do today. Why is that? What makes those roles endure?
It's because they solve these basic, unavoidable human problems: health, law, shelter. These needs, they just don't disappear. And the sources make a great point here. You shouldn't quit those fields, but you have to integrate AI. You need to use these tools to work, 10 times faster, 10 times better than you did before.
But the roles around those core needs, they vanished. The sources brought up the nomenclators.
Yes, the poor nomenclators. Their entire job was basically administrative social memory. They just memorized hundreds of names, all so the politicians they worked for could sound important. They were eventually replaced by simple technology, a notebook. Their job added no essential human value, just information retrieval.
So if jobs meeting essential human needs survive and retrieval jobs vanish, what's the core takeaway for people working today?
Adaptability and focusing laser-like on essential human needs are vital.
Okay, let's get into the 5 high-income skills we need to master. We can start with the first 2, beginning with smart selling.
Skill 1, smart selling. So in the past, selling often felt like, a frustrating guessing game. You'd call 100 strangers and just hope maybe one of them would buy something. AI turns all of that into a precise science, a science of probability.
And what's fascinating is how the data completely changes the interaction. You're not really cold calling anymore.
Exactly. Smart sellers use AI to filter the entire world, really, and they find people who are already, say, 80% likely to buy. They know the optimal time to send a message, and they can personalize it instantly, automatically.
Can you give us an example? Like, how does that personalization go deeper than just sticking a customer's name in an email?
Oh, absolutely. When you use AI to analyze public social media company news, you can understand a customer's unspoken need sometimes better than they do. You stop begging for sales. Instead, you approach them with something that's highly relevant, giving them what they need right when they need it.
That really shifts the whole dynamic, doesn't it? From high-pressure sales to high-relevant service. But wait, doesn't that precision, doesn't it sometimes cross an ethical line, make the customer feel a bit watched?
That's a key challenge. It requires wisdom or curation, which we'll get to later. You have to be helpful, not creepy. Tools like Clay, Apollo, HubSpot AI, they enable this. For instance, you could prompt a tool like this: generate a short, friendly message for a new coffee shop owner whose reviews mention slow service, suggesting a tech solution without sounding like a pushy ad. The AI creates that trusted hook for you immediately.
That brings us really naturally to skill number 2, data analysis. For decades, understanding data was blocked by this, giant wall, complex math, huge Excel files, needing to know Python. Now that wall is it's gone. Data isn't just cold numbers anymore. It's the voice of your customer.
And we're not just talking about basic reporting, looking at what happened yesterday. We need to define the jargon here. Predictive analytics. That's using past trends to forecast, with high certainty, what is likely to happen in the future.
Right, which is so much more powerful than just running a quarterly sales report. Can you give us a concrete example of that predictive power?
Sure. Think of a high-end clothing shop. A basic tool tells them they sold 100 linen shirts last month. Okay. But a high-level AI, it analyzes weather patterns, forecasts, social media trends, and then it tells the buyer. A heat wave is coming in 3 specific regions. Your competitor is low on yellow fabric. You need to increase your order for yellow linen shirts by 200 units right now to capitalize. See? It's forecasting demand, not just reporting sales.
Whoa. Just imagine scaling that. Scaling that capability to inform every single major decision for a billion-dollar company. That's the real value. It removes the guesswork.
And the power really shines when you're handling massive amounts of messy, unstructured data. I ran a case study. A restaurant was losing repeat customers. For a human to analyze their thousands of Yelp and Google reviews, it would take weeks. The AI found a hidden pattern in seconds. People loved the food, loved the atmosphere, but they were furious about the average 17-minute wait for the bill after they'd already asked for it.
17 minutes. Wow. That's a huge friction point.
It is. So they fixed that one small operational detail, which was only visible through AI, and their repeat customers went up by 30% in 2 months. It turns these little outliers into an actionable strategy.
And that's where we need to professionalize the skill. We need the tools. Power BI Copilot, for example. It's like having a data scientist who automatically finds those outliers for you, so you can figure out if it was a fluke or a repeatable success you need to double down on.
Absolutely. And Tableau AI is huge for visual intelligence. You can literally just ask it questions in plain English. Show me the 3 cities with the highest profit growth for this product last quarter. Things like that.
And for beginners, something like Polymer Search can turn a simple spreadsheet into an interactive database. No code needed. And Glean is great for teams that searches across everything: Slack, Google Drive, email, to pull context together.
By mastering just 2 or 3 of these, you stop guessing. You start knowing your business.
So what separates modern AI-driven data analysis from just looking at old spreadsheets?
Turning raw data into a clear, future-focused, actionable business strategy.
Let's talk about skill 3, content creation.
Content really is the currency of the modern world. It's the master key to success because it builds your personal brand, it builds trust. And the great thing about AI now, it completely eliminates all those old excuses people had. I don't know how to write, or I can't make videos.
The speed and the cost efficiency are just unmatched. But the big critique is that AI content can be generic. How do we make sure it shares your unique value?
That's the secret. You use AI to analyze your own past work, your unique perspective, your tone of voice. You use it to generate outlines that reinforce your angle. The winner in this new era is the person who creates great content for the lowest cost, in the shortest time, but tailored to their specific brand.
That's market dominance through pure efficiency. And the tools: ChatGPT, Claude for longer analysis, Midjourney for visuals, Opus Clip for turning long videos into short clips. They're essential.
You can leverage them for specific goals, too, like ask the AI for a 60-second TikTok script, a hook about useless meetings, 3 steps to summarize notes with ChatGPT, and then a call to action. It gives you that perfect structure instantly.
Moving to skill 4, automation. This is the one that really makes you a superhero at work. It's all about replacing those repetitive, low-value tasks.
We're talking about building systems that work 24/7, no errors, no fatigue. A digital workforce, really. It handles the process while you get to focus on creativity.
I know you spent a lot of time on this. Could you give an example from your own life? How do you use it to save mental energy?
Sure. I have a simple system where I just speak an idea into a voice memo on my phone when I'm out walking. The AI automatically converts the voice to organized text. It adds tags like client idea or podcast topic and saves it right to my project manager. It just frees up my brain from trying to remember all those little details. All that mental energy is saved for the big, complex thinking.
That optimization of mental space, that's arguably more valuable than just the time savings.
It is, though I have to admit, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself when I'm building complex automations for clients. I mean, I spent 4 hours last week trying to fix one single webhook that just kept failing. It's a constant process of refinement. Learning to debug those small failures is part of the high-income skill.
That's a good point. If prompt drift is such a persistent issue, is automation really a skill worth mastering first? Or is that a trap for beginners?
Oh, it's absolutely worth mastering, but you need the right tool for your ambition. For beginners, Zapier is the easy bridge. It connects over 5,000 apps. Step A happens, then step B happens. It's linear. If you want more complexity, more control, you move to something like Make.
And what's the fundamental difference in complexity there?
Make allows for true conditional logic. You can build a workflow that says, if X happens, but only before 5 p.m., alert the sales team. Otherwise, send it to finance. It can handle these detailed multi-step business processes that need that kind of branching logic.
And then for the top-tier professional, there's NAN. It's powerful, it's open source, and it can handle, industrial scale amounts of work.
Hmm.
Mastering these tools gives you back your most valuable resources, time and mental clarity.
So beyond just saving time, what is the primary benefit of mastering complex automation systems?
Saving mental energy for complex creative thinking and focus.
All right, moving to our final skill, number 5, training and curation. And this is arguably the highest level of AI skill you can get.
We see this problem everywhere right now. Companies buy this expensive software. They have the engine, but their employees are confused or they're just using the tool incorrectly.
Yeah.
So they have the engine but no driver.
Exactly. So the person who can effectively teach an entire organization how to use the tool, they become an instant leader. And this role requires deep curation skills. AI is fundamentally, useless without a human who has good taste and judgment.
So the shift is from creation to quality control.
Precisely. The machine can generate 1,000 ideas in a minute, but only a human expert can recognize what good looks like. They filter the output, and they guide the AI to meet that professional standard. You become the quality control for the whole organization.
Okay, so for the listener who is excited by all this, but maybe a little overwhelmed at the idea of 5 new skills, where do they start?
The biggest mistake is trying to learn everything at once. That's just a guarantee for confusion and burnout. The solution is to pick 2 and 3 specific skills that genuinely excite you, or that solve a really pressing current problem in your job.
So a marketing person might focus on content and data analysis, while someone in operations might focus on automation and training. You're building a T-shaped skill set. Deep knowledge in a few areas, broad understanding of the rest.
Exactly. And once you have your focus, you have to get into the water.
Yeah.
The fastest way to really master these things is by building small, real-world proof-of-concept projects, pieces.
And we should probably elevate these projects, right? Not just a simple meal planner. What's a professional level POC a beginner could aim for?
Aim for something that takes a weekend but solves a business problem. For example, build an automation that generates personalized LinkedIn outreach for 20 potential clients based on their company news. Or build a system that analyzes industry trends in your vertical and delivers an AI summarized briefing to your manager every Monday morning.
These tangible projects, they create instant credibility.
They do. When you're in that job interview, a portfolio of real, useful projects is infinitely more powerful than any certificate.
And the final piece of this journey is building in public. Your digital presence is your resume now. Document your journey online, on LinkedIn, on Twitter.
Share what worked, yes, but especially show what did not work. Sharing mistakes shows you're a problem solver. It shows you can debug complex issues. This has a dual benefit. It helps you remember what you learned. Teaching is learning, and it makes you discoverable. Recruiters are actively searching for people with these skills.
So how can a beginner effectively build credibility quickly when starting their AI journey?
Building in public by sharing small, real-world projects and documenting learning publicly.
So let's try to synthesize the overall message here for you. The change isn't coming. It's already here, and it's accelerating. Survival really depends on adopting the right mindset, that of the flexible generalist, ready to adapt and solve essential human problems.
And that mindset has to be combined with focused execution. You don't need all 5 skills, but mastering 2 or 3 high-leverage ones like predictive analytics or smart selling or automation, that's what will transition you from being replaceable to being indispensable by 2026.
We adapted to the hammer, the wheel, the microchip. AI skills are just the most powerful tools we have right now. The question posed by the sources is a good one to end on, I think. Will you be the master of the tool or the person left behind?
We are truly just at the very, very beginning of this. And the human element, your judgment, your taste, that's what makes the AI output valuable.
If AI can generate 1,000 great ideas in a minute, how much value does the person who defines great truly hold in the economy of 2026? That's something to mull over this week.
Thank you for sharing your source material with us for this deep dive.
Find your 2 or 3 key focus areas and maybe try to start that small proof of concept project this weekend.
We'll talk soon.